Hey everyone, Josh here with a look at another Star Wars toy. Today we're looking at a figure from the Power of the Force collection with the green cards. And this guy is, as you can see on the packaging, says from the newly created footage in the special edition of the Star Wars trilogy. Back in the late 90s when Lucas decided to insert a bunch of computer effects into the old trilogy, this is one of the characters he inserted in. He's in A New Hope. You'll see him quickly in a scene in the background, or I think he actually might be the focus of the shot for a brief second. But when Luke and Obi-Wan are riding the Luke speeder into Mos Eisley, you'll see him near a large spaceship, and he's picking this debris up, and they just fly right by him. You'll see him for a split second, but if you go watch the special edition of New Hope, you'll see this guy in there in Mos Eisley. And so let's take a look at him real quick. Oh, and his name is ASP-7 Droid with spaceport supply rods. That's what he's holding in his hands. And so let's look at him real quick. And there he is. He's just a worker droid, apparently. And he's almost got a hollow frame to him. If you look, you can see it right through him. And these rods do come out of his hands if you watch. He's supposed to pick things up, but they just pop right out of here if you slide them out. And it's nothing more than what looks like a small pile of pipe or conduit rod or something like that. Not a lot to it. It's not a weapon. And let's take him off stand here and look at him. And one thing interesting this guy does kind of do is, if you watch his legs, when you bend him over, the further he bends, the wider his legs spread. And I guess his whole design is to pick up things. So that's probably why it's designed that way. But it has to do with the angle that his hips are at. So as his legs bend, they spread further apart. So, and now his head does not swivel at all, but he does have a little up and down movement. Or actually, his head apparently has more movement than that. Sometimes it pops off, it just snaps right back on there, and it stays good. But yeah, he just looks up, and he can look down. His arms only move at his shoulders. He's got real good range too, and of course his legs bend at the hip. And I don't think you're going to fit this guy in a vehicle or anything, but if he's working around your spaceport, I'm sure he's handy. And you'll see as when he stands up, his legs get real close together. When he bends over, they spread apart. And if you look real close at his hands, you can see they're just little claws for gripping. So let's get his supply rods back in his hand. Actually, I think you gotta do the long one first and come in with the short one. There you go. So, and that's what he was doing in the movie. He was bending over, picking this thing up, and as he stood up, I believe that's when they flew by him. And let's look at his card real quick. There you go. You can see him that's what he looked like in the movie. Let's see here. ASP-7 Droid. Height 1.6 meters. Status household/business laborer. Classification industrial automation automaton ASP-7 droid. Affiliation varies based on owner. And there you have it. And there he is, everyone. ASP-7 with spaceport supply rods from the special edition of the original Star Wars trilogy. And thanks for watching, guys.